Now this is going to be pretty good, I think. Yesterday, we asked NDP MP Megan Leslie to appear on our show to explain why she had promoted an event by the truther and 9/11 denier Richard Gage on her official website page. It seems that she's unwilling to participate because we've heard nothing at all. What a surprise. Now, the posting on the site explained that Richard Gage is an architect based in San Francisco. He's coming to Halifax to share his wealth of knowledge on what actually happened on September the 11th, 2001. Building 7 appears to have fallen by itself without any plane touching it. Was this a planned demolition? Join us to find out. Now, the posting is framed in NDP orange, rather lovely, and Megan Leslie's name is rather prominent. Oh, and the event isn't even taking place in her riding. It's in another part of Halifax. So why the incredible enthusiasm? As soon as a Conservative MP and then we at Sun News exposed all of this, Leslie and her people rather quickly responded with the weak, oh, so terribly weak defence that all sorts of people post on her page, and it's not monitored as long as those posting don't break the law or spread hatred. Really, Miss Leslie, really? First, I don't see any Conservative causes advertised there, but second, and much more important, who told you that truthers and 9/11 deniers don't spread hatred? I mean, really, where do you live? In what world do you function? The anti-Semitism within the truther movement is, well, it's vile, it's tangible. When I interviewed your new friend, your new buddy and comrade Gage, for example, I asked probably a dozen people whether, as so many truthers claim, it was true that every Jew was told not to go to work on 9/11. One fellow did say he knew about this claim, but he thought it was just racism. Good. But all of the others said they didn't know, including Richard Gage himself. Some of the people I've spoken to, for example, they say that the day 9/11 happened, all the Jews were told to stay away from work. Is that true too?
I don't know. I haven't researched
you don't know?
that. There's a lot of things I don't know.
Look, I
do know.
There are lots of things I don't know, but I can assume a bit of a leap here that they're not true. So do you think there's a chance that is true?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at it.
Oh, so it's possibly true that all the Jews were told not to go to work that day?
Oh, well, I suppose that's possible. I have no idea.
But he knows exactly what I mean by this. He's heard this 1,000 times. This question is not without context. It's not a difficult one to answer. Now, the context is that truthers, by their nature, believe that 9/11 obviously was an inside job and a conspiracy. Some of them believe that conspiracy was organized by the military-industrial complex with a few Jews involved, but many, if not most of them, claim it was pretty much all Jews in charge. They don't always use the word Jews because they're worried it might get them into trouble, so they use what they think is a gentler euphemism, the word Zionist. Now, second, it's not a question that is really that difficult to answer. I mean, it's not like, do you think it's true that Jim Smith took the day off on 9/11 because he felt under the weather? You know, he had a drinking night. And I mean, a response of, I don't know, or I don't know, I've not looked into it, that would be entirely valid, obviously. The question is, do you think that the rather high number of Jews who work in the Twin Towers were told by an organized Jewish or Zionist or Israeli conspiracy to stay away from work that day so that none of them would be killed? Because obviously the entire thing was organized by the Jews, and the Jews carried out 9/11 and told their fellow Jews to stay away by calling all of them individually. It's a lot of phoning, meaning that all of those Jews who were called were part of the conspiracy and thus evil because they were willing to allow 9/11 to happen but said nothing and have said nothing since. So the Jews are an evil people, runs a theory, but are also so clever and powerful that they can control the world and carried out 9/11, blame Muslims, and then disguise the whole thing. So, okay, the answer to that is, well, no, of course it's untrue. Shut up, you racist moron. But the answer from Richard Gage, just to remind you, was... Some of the people I've spoken to, for example, they say that the day 9/11 happened, all the Jews were told to stay away from work. Is that true too?
I don't know. I haven't researched
you don't know?
that. There's a lot of things I don't know.
Look, I
do know.
There are lots of things I don't know, but I can assume a bit of a leap here that they're not true. So do you think there's a chance that is true?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at it.
Oh, so it's possibly true that all the Jews were told not to go to work that day?
Oh, well, I suppose that's possible. I have no idea.
Now look, truther after truther that night told me the same trash. So, Megan Leslie, are you convinced that truthers don't spread hate? Here's what some other people said that night. Now, this is a very brief clip. I just want to explain. The Rothschilds are the family's Jewish in origin. Some of them have intermarried, they're not Jewish anymore, they're very liberal, they're not particularly political. But conspiracy theorists always talk about the Rothschilds because it's a Jewish name. There are many other super wealthy families who are not Jewish, but it's always the Rothschilds. Have a look at this.
I would have to say the Rothschilds are definitely involved in some shape or form.
Look, Iran, good old Iran, has sponsored and participated in several truther conferences and events. And, good old former President Ahmadinejad, remember him? He said if the black box of the 9/11 incident and Holocaust were opened, then some of the truth will be exposed, but the United States does not allow this. There are those who believe that the goal of 9/11 was to revive the Zionist regime, reinforce stability in the region, divert US public opinion from the poor economic state. In terms of reference and benefits, 9/11 is very similar to the Holocaust. Is that hateful, Megan Leslie, or is that just fair comment? I mean, perhaps Ahmadinejad could post a community ad on your page. Now, interestingly enough, there is a noticeable crossover between the 9/11 Truther campaign and the vicious, vehement boycott Israel movement, particularly on campuses. I saw it that night when I did the interview, and we see it on truther blogs and websites all the time. Which brings us back to Megan Leslie. She has been very active in supporting and defending the Halifax Israel Apartheid Week and frequently refers to Israel's illegal occupation of the Palestinians. She is, as I say, active in being anti-Israel, an anti-Israel politician and activist. It's her right. That is her absolute right. But it's our right and duty to demand truth, genuine truth, and answers, genuine answers from everybody involved in this episode. There were, by the way, many Jews who died on 9/11, died in the towers, died as first responders, died. Jews do die, you see, Mr. Gage, and your clan, Jews do die. Now, Megan Leslie, be brave, be honest, and make an apology for what you did. We're waiting.